Hey everybody, JJ here, Bull Boom Bear Bust. It is Sunday, July 19th. Putting this video out tonight a little bit later than usual. Many of you, I'm sure, are going to be watching this on Monday. But in our last video, we talked about how the economy could be about to expire. When we talk about that, what we mean by that is actually the eviction moratoriums, all of the benefits and the additional assistance, the unemployment upgrade, as some are calling it, with the $600 a week bonus that many millions of people had to spend. So we think some major announcements are likely to come out here in the next couple weeks. And you know, there's a lot of different things on the table. They could be looking at tax cuts, but ask yourself, how much help is a tax cut going to help people, a payroll tax cut, when they don't have a job? It's not going to do any good. And this situation that we're in right now, financially and economically, is basically unprecedented, because before the shutdown, before the government basically decided to destroy the economy on purpose, well, even before that, things were only appearing to be good. The economy was only good because of debt and manipulation and a lot of misinformation. Let's take the unemployment rate. The unemployment rate got down to what they're saying is 3.5%. Now, if you look at the real numbers, you know it's a lot higher than that. But with 3.5% unemployment, let's say that number was real, which we know it's not. But even if it was, with 70% of people living paycheck to paycheck even before the shutdown, what about the quality of the people, or what about the quality of the jobs that people are working? Instead of just looking at the unemployment number or the percentage, just the low-paying jobs that many people in the U.S. have to work. And we're talking about the service sector, fast food, the hospitality industry, and now even those sectors are facing a lot of pain, and millions of people now are living from handout to handout. And of course, food lines are exploding, bigger lines than the Great Depression. And remember, back in the Great Depression, people that needed food, they couldn't just rely on a credit card or an EBT card or some sort of other digital assistance program to go to the grocery store and get their food. But yet now we're still seeing, even today, even with the EBT programs and the assistance programs, food lines that are longer than we saw in the Great Depression. I reported on that just a couple weeks ago, I think the 4th of July. There was a huge food line in Riverside, California. I was actually visiting some relatives there, some in-laws that live there, and I just happened to be at a park right across from where the food line was. But let's get into some news here. We're looking at major budget cuts. City, state, and even the federal government, they're going to have to cut a lot of workers. We're going to see even more layoffs. The V-shaped recovery is basically a pipe dream. Article right here out of InsideHigherEd.com. Budget bloodbath at University of Akron. Governing board votes to eliminate 97 full-time faculty positions. Right? Where are these people going to go find work? Are they going to go work at McDonald's? Is everybody going to work at Starbucks? Maybe, because those seem to be the businesses that are doing the most hiring nowadays. Another report here, the Mercury.com. City looks at a 5 to 10% department budget cuts. And this is out of Manhattan. The City Commission will examine 5 and 10% department cuts as the city shapes its 2021 budget. Now also we see in many cities they're looking to defund or reduce funding for the police. Where are these police going to go work if they get laid off? Right? It's going to be an absolute nightmare. And we already see most people in the United States, even before the shutdown, most people were already dependent on some sort of paycheck or handout from the government, and now it's going to get even worse. I mean, when this is done, where's this going to be at? Is it going to be 70, 80, 90%? Everybody's going to be just living off the government, who could just print money out of nothing and hand it out? All right? It's going to get absolutely mind-blowing here unless something major transforms this entire system. Another recent article here, Washington caregivers brace for state budget cuts. A lot of these people that get home health care provided to them are now going to end up in a nursing home. And we know that nursing homes are definitely not the safest place to be, probably one of the least safest places to be nowadays with what's happening. So maybe all these home health care providers can go work at a nursing home. Maybe the nursing homes will be hiring who knows, but it's absolutely going to be devastating to a lot of people when these budget cuts really kick into high gear, and we're about ready to see that very, very soon. We have a lot of states asking for federal money. A lot of them are being denied. So that's going to create another jobless nightmare for many of these state employees. And a lot of people that really need assistance are not getting the assistance. There's snags, there's glitches. Here's a report here out of NBC News. Bureaucratic snag leaves thousands of gig workers shut out of relief aid. And this story focuses on people in the entertainment industry, actors, videographers, choreographers, entertainers. And we know that in the U.S. the entertainment industry is huge, and a lot of other employment comes along with that, from editors, cameramen, producers, and many, many more. And where are these people going to go find work with their experience? All right, how many jobs that actually are needed or that actually produce things, how many of those jobs are going to be wanting to hire an ex-actor or someone from the entertainment industry? So it's going to be very tough, and I'm thinking that at some point people are going to have to cut back their spending, and entertainment spending, if people are smart anyways, is going to be one of the biggest areas that people should cut back on. I know I talk about that here quite a lot. Now, I'm not some saint who never wastes money. I've wasted a lot of money in my day. Movies, concerts. And I think some entertainment, some fun is good. Absolutely. Am I going to spend $100 to go watch some band or some group play the same songs they've been playing for 30 years? No, probably not. And when you look at some of these bands that did these reunion tours, I think Kiss and some Rolling Stones, charging hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars for tickets, I'm just not going to go to that. I might go see a local band for $10 or $15, but I digress. Enough on the entertainment situation. But my point is, a lot of people, I think, are going to be forced to cut back on unnecessary spending, and one of the most unnecessary items that people spend money on, in my opinion, is entertainment. You're not going to die if you can't go to the movies. And I personally am trying to cut back on spending, not spend on things I don't need. We're not taking vacations like we used to. And actually we're selling a lot of things on eBay now and just getting rid of stuff that we don't need. And I actually put my son's old Xbox on eBay just recently, and it sold in like less than an hour. It was an Xbox with like almost 20 games. And we should have put a higher price on it because so many people are at home now on lockdown and wanting things to do to entertain themselves at home. And we probably could have got like $250 for it, even though it was an old Xbox 360. Now let's talk about this. We know that unemployment has absolutely skyrocketed, but even the people that have jobs, many times the wages are not enough to get by on. And now add on top of it, there's wage cuts happening, and we've talked about this before, but here's another recent article. This is out of Politico. Employers are using pay cuts to stay afloat during the recession, an unusual move that could signal deep damage to the labor market. So a lot of these small businesses, they were barely scraping by even before the shutdown, and we know that from a survey from Yelp that about half of the businesses surveyed said they may not actually even be able to avoid bankruptcy. A lot of them have to implement major wage cuts for their employees. And what are we going to see? A lot of people working low-wage jobs and also having to depend on the government. It's going to be the Walmart syndrome spreading across the nation now. But mega corporations, the people at the top get the golden parachute. Recent article here, BloombergQuint.com. Executives at bankrupt companies scored $131 million in bonuses. And when you look at just the outrageous number of stock buybacks that companies were doing, many of these companies had debt that instead of paying off the debt, they just chose to use profits for buying back their own stock. And many of the people at the top, got out with a nice golden parachute. It's outlined right here. Before the bankruptcies came, the bonuses as follows: $10 million for J.C. Penney, $25 million at Chesapeake Energy, $1.5 million for Hertz car rental. Right? Absolutely mind-boggling how we're just seeing this system be looted by a small group of people at the very, very top, the top 1%. And in many cases, these people are paid so well that they don't care if their company goes out of business. There's no real incentive there. That's why this country needs to focus on small businesses, right? You're not going to see a mom and pop business owner paying themselves 1,000 times more than they are their employees, like we do in corporate America with these multinational mega corporations. But yet the opposite of what would need to happen is happening. The mega corporations are the ones getting stronger, getting the most help, and being allowed to stay in operation, while the small businesses, the mom and pops, the Main Street business owners, are getting shut down and wiped out. It's absolutely sickening to me what's happening right now in this country. Now let's wrap it up here. I see a lot of comments down there saying that there's another YouTuber here in Southern California that sounds a lot like me, or I sound a lot like him, and I can guarantee you I don't piggyback off of any other channel's information. I do watch a lot of YouTube videos, and I think I know who you're talking about, but it could be just that we're both in Southern California. We both see the homeless epidemic that's happening out here. Also, we're reporting current news, so if we're talking about a lot of similar stuff, it could just be we're both covering, just recent news, and that's why you're going to see a lot of the same topics come up. But I do try to go off on my own branch and try to put my own views and thoughts into every bit of news. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here, for supporting this channel. Again, this is not my full-time job. This is just something I do on the side. So to see you guys coming back every episode and the channel continuing to grow is just mind-boggling. Thank you so much. We're going to be coming up to 60,000 subscribers, way beyond everything I could have, way beyond anything I could have ever imagined just a couple years ago when I started this. So thanks everybody for being here. I'd like to hear from you down in comments. What are we going to see here in the next couple weeks? Are there going to be more rescue packages announced? Is it going to be something that no one expects? Is it going to be some sort of major transformation? Well, I know there's a few of you out there that have this idea that there's going to be some sort of magical transition into a new economy or something like that, back to the gold standard or something like that. I don't think it's going to happen that quickly. I think we're going to have to go through a lot of darkness before we get to any sort of light. So that's why I'm telling everybody to try to be prepared. Prepare for the worst. Hopefully this will all work out in the end after this collapse, after a massive awakening and people realize how this economic system was designed to fail. Then finally maybe when people feel the pain, we can get to some sort of sane financial economic system. Until then, everybody stay well, stay safe, stay prepared, and we'll hope to see you back here very soon. Bye for now.